Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS. If you're new, a very warm welcome. And welcome back, KS family. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin is up 1.16% to 19,303. Ethereum is up 2.72% to 1311. Bitcoin is currently trading at 19,284. We can see that the weekend trading is just coming to a close and Bitcoin put in a bit of a spike. It had a bit of a short squeeze in here, but since then the price has been retracing. We're just underneath an institutional sell level or sell zone from 19,462 to 20,340. And we can see there was a bit of a short squeeze here, but the shorts are now liquidating the longs. We've seen the shorts gradually increase their positions. The longs too are buying the dip. It's been pretty light volume across the weekend with 34.27 million in total liquidations across a very small number of liquidated positions, 16,881. In the past 24 hours, about 50% of total liquidations have been short. Across the past 12 hours, about 70% short. Past 4 hours, about 83% short. And the past hour, about 68% long. And if we look into the daily basis, we can see more shorts are getting liquidated than longs, but this is very, very low weekend volume. We can see Bitcoin sentiment is decreasing at the moment. And this is actually a good thing because when we see a decrease in sentiment down to really, really low levels, we start to witness bottoms being formed. That doesn't mean the bottom is in right now. Episode 684 can help you to see what professionals look for in determining if a bottom is in, and 685 is also a very, very good episode. There's so much negative news out there that many people feel the only way the price can go is down. Our communities think very, very differently about that. We do three-dimensional risk management each and every day. And if you'd like to better understand the BORSOG code, you can just have a look at episode 685. It goes on a deep dive of how to use it. We know that we control the trade or investment, but the market controls the return, and the market always rewards your active learning, your knowledge and your courage, and it penalizes blame and gambling. Your daily risk management code, even if you're a long-term investor, is a really good thing to do because what you're actually doing is you're seeking to identify and get into synchronization with the market. Remember, all investors become traders anytime they buy or sell. And you want to look at this risk management strategy applying to your entire portfolio. If, for example, you said in the next 24 hours, I predict a 70% chance of the market going down, you would put D70. That's the first part. And then you look at your portfolio and say, if the market goes down, what components of my portfolio would go down, go neutral, or go up? It's very possible to hedge inside any market, especially inside crypto. And the most important thing to keep in mind is how synchronized in with the market you feel at the moment. I know it's a very subjective thing, but the subjectivity can turn into objectivity with enough practice and application. Synchronization is all about if you have the Midas touch at the moment or you don't. And the markets are always changing character. The markets always try to desync you. If you're getting desynced, that's actually a good thing. That means that there's different opportunities on the horizon. When we look at Bitcoin on a daily basis, we can see this resistance line playing through has absolutely held resistance. It stopped the buyers from being successful. And we can also see that we've been under a level of resistance and now multiple levels of resistance for some time. We do have a lower level of support playing in around the 19,054 mark. So just bear this in mind. If we start to get below that level, the Armageddon line is really, really close. Looking back to the previous Armageddon line, when they get violated, what actually occurs is the longs get cascading liquidations. A lot of people have heard of short squeezes where price just goes exponentially up because the shorts need to come in and buy to cover their positions. The opposite occurs in a long squeeze. The people who are getting liquidated need to sell at whatever price, and this can cause these cascading liquidations. You must be aware of Armageddon lines. Where would the institutions step in terms of their buying and selling? To answer this question, we must mark up our charts with the CTKS method to determine overall structural buy and sell levels. What we can see is there's an institutional buy level between 17,931 and 18,407. There's actually a lower one also, 15,791 to 16,039. That's the negative side. But there's also an institutional sell level between 19,462 and 23,40, as well as a higher one between 23,260 and 23,985. And what we've just witnessed, that short squeeze has been pretty short-lived as well. The longs are now getting liquidated. The reason that we look at Bitcoin is because of Rule 45. Your beloved alts cannot escape Bitcoin's gravity. Yesterday, I put out a quick post on Twitter that at 19,233, we could have a potential for a short squeeze. What we actually saw is we did get that short squeeze up. But what does it mean? We've got negative air here, which means the sellers are very strong in this band. That means that we need to be aware from 19,462 upwards, the sellers are actually quite strong there. In order to understand what could happen in crypto, please keep your eyes and your mind on the DXY. The DXY is still carrying forward positive momentum, and this spike in the dollar will spike yields, which will actually put negative price momentum throughout the entire markets, stock market and crypto. Last night on Twitter, I also put in this particular diagram. Keep your eye on 905.13 billion for total crypto market cap. If we get above that, sustainably above that level, the next level above is 1052 trillion. So it could be really, really interesting. Just keep your mind on three-dimensional thinking. Always ask yourself, I don't want to get stuck in one position, thinking the market must go down or must go up, or it's just going to go flat and go sideways. Think about all three simultaneously. That's what the BORSOG code is all about. We can see global crypto market cap is currently $886.6 billion. And these particular Stanfield lines, they're very, very important. These are institutional smart money buy and sell levels formed by the CTKS method. And they represent all of price structure, not just recent price structure. Understanding how Bitcoin moves is really, really important. For example, we can see Ethereum just aligning with Bitcoin's gravity. Bitcoin's gravity is that blue line. BNB also aligning, but just a little bit weaker at the moment. ADA has been continuously weak in relationship to the up move, but it's as strong as the down move. And that's not what we want to see. We want to see strong projects. ADA was very strong once upon a time. It's becoming increasingly weak, as has DOT. But that doesn't mean that those projects will stay weak. Actually, on the contrary, what you actually see is the strong become weak and the weak become strong. They all projects have their time in the sun. Just something to bear in mind. XRP. We can see XRP was very strong, now starting to get a little bit weaker, but does have strength comparative to Bitcoin. Solana just aligning with Bitcoin's gravity. Doge aligning, but both projects are weaker. And we can see DOT starting to show strength. And this is what I've always said. just keep your eye on the weak projects. They tend to turn around and then they can become very strong. And we can see Matic has continued to be strong. So just keep your eye on Bitcoin's gravity. It's very, very profitable to understand. And I cover this off extensively inside the masterclass. Looking towards the daily gainers, we can see synthetics just on a party run at the moment. It's come up very, very strongly, over-exaggerating Bitcoin's upward momentum. And this is what we want to look for in particular projects. That's why when you do your BORSOG code, what you're actually doing is trying to normalize the returns across your portfolio and understand where they're headed. Let's have a look at Waves. Waves doing quite nicely. Quant just on an absolute rampage up. You can see that it's actually aligning with Bitcoin's gravity, but it doesn't look it. Let's just zoom in to see what I'm talking about. This alignment of Bitcoin's gravity is actually happening. Sometimes it goes out of alignment, sometimes it comes back into alignment. Quant is a very, very strong project, but overall Quant is actually obeying Bitcoin's gravitational pull. You can see it quite clearly. But if I was to zoom out, you'd probably say, oh no, Ken, it's just completely independent of Bitcoin. But it's not. Specific cryptos will underexpose themselves to the negative price momentum, what we see in Quant, and overexpose themselves to positive price momentum. That's why Quant has been doing this, because it's basically saying when Bitcoin comes down, okay, I'm going to come down, but not by much, not by what you're doing. And when it goes up, it really goes up. These are the things that you want to bear in mind. And this is why it's possible for the market to come down, but your portfolio to go up. It's a form of hedging. And you don't do hedging by actually using derivatives or anything like that. You do it in your selection. We can see Aave doing quite well, overextending to the positive side just recently. Trust Wallet, TWT, doing exactly the same thing. And Link starting to get above a level of resistance, but it's not quite there yet. It's on a short-term level of resistance. It's overcome that one. We've got another level coming through here. It's getting close. Go Link. And when we look at Arweave is doing incredibly well. If you find a particular project in a particular area, such as, for example, file storage, and how do you check these things? For example, if you look up Arweave on CoinMarketCap, you'll see it's in distributed computing, file sharing, storage, and a couple of others. So let's have a look at file sharing. And what does that bring back to us? And we can sort by the greatest gainers and the greatest losers. If you get too far outside the top 500, you can get really chaotic crypto projects that could have very, very low liquidity. You must be careful. You don't want to do a Hotel Californian trade. But look at HOT. Arweave is coming up, Anchor, and HOT. This is how you can dig into BORSOG opportunities. And I cover this inside the masterclass. Masterclass students, please have a look at LV21. And finishing off, we can see in the daily gainers, MakerDAO doing really, really well. Every day, I start the day by how can I help our beloved community out? How can I add more value? And I thought what I could do is to put in the weekly gainers as well. You can see Quant is the top weekly gainer, doing exceptionally well. Second is Arweave, also doing very, very well. ENS, Ethereum Name Service, getting up to a level of resistance, but just trying to break through it, doing well as well. Maker, doing excellently. USTC has been one of the top gainers, but we've seen USTC, the not so stable coin, come down significantly in value. You've got to be careful of these kind of projects. If you're in and out and trading, okay, that's okay. But the concept is stable coins should be stable. And it's not just me saying it. If you log into Binance, you'll see risk warning for USTC. The price of this token is subject to high volatility, and you can see over here. So just be careful if you see messages like this. It can mean that you may lose all of the money that you put in. Just be aware of that. Trust Wallet has been doing incredibly well, one of the top weekly gainers. Synthetics doing well as well, and Luna coming back to earth, but still overall one of the top gainers for the week. Let's flip around the other way. What are the greatest daily losers? We can see USTC, one of the greatest daily losers at the current time. Luna, also one of the greatest daily losers today. Luna C, one of the greatest losers today as well. EOS also coming down. Tron coming down. XRP, one of the greatest losers today, but it put in an incredible effort recently. And Mana, a metaverse play, coming down as well as Filecoin. And it's good to also compare what are the greatest weekly losers. We can look on a daily basis and that can be very volatile, but what about across the week? We see Clayton is the greatest loser across the past 7 days, and it's really come down in price. Chili's also come down very traumatically. Chili's was doing incredibly well. And this is what I was mentioning before. The strong become weak, and then the weak become strong. It's always moving around. ICP, a lot of weakness, one of the greatest losers over the past 7 days, as is NEAR, Ethereum Classic, Ape, Ravencoin, and poor old ADA. Depending on how you structure your portfolio, even if price goes down, you can have some of your cryptos coming up. And if you think that price is coming up, those counter trend movers could actually result in downwards movements. So you need to keep really balanced about what you feel is the overall direction of the market. And I did a very, very deep dive into how to do your code in episode 685, and 684 is a ripper as well. In yesterday's video, we asked the community, let's have a talk about persistence and commitment, because when it comes to being successful and being a successful person, having positive excellence will take you there. In fact, it's the only thing that will take you there. Luck could elevate you temporarily, but it will de-elevate you permanently unless you create the foundations of lasting success. And it's funny, the harder you work, the luckier you get, because it's not luck. And we always talk about persistence and commitment in the CTKS Creed. I am dedicated and committed. I win or learn and never blame. This primes your mind for profitability, not just in the crypto market, but in life as well. And in Zone 1 and Zone 2, people get involved in things and they just give up. And what they find is they give up and then they come back and they give up and they come back and they give up. With persistence and commitment, you can actually get out of Zone 1 and Zone 2 into Zone 3 and Zone 4. Zone 3 and Zone 4 have completely different ways of thinking than Zone 1 and Zone 2. And I talk about those inside the masterclass. Of course, I also share them each and every day on the free community channel. But we do really, really deep dives inside the masterclass. And Jade spoke about commitment and persistence. Commitment and persistence in coming here each day and every day to learn and working hard to understand the market. Like anything in life you want to master, it takes time, effort, and desire. Well done, Jade. And a very big thank you to each and every person who commented or just watched the video. It's just wonderful to have you here. And a very big congratulations to Divine Art. Divine Art was awarded the Tails CTKS Partial Masterclass Scholarship. Well done, my friend. And thank you again to Tails for your very kind generosity. And thank you, Brett, for sharing. Brett says, when fear breaks through, preparation, education, methods, technicals, continuous learning, and starts shouting about my losses to rattle me, well then, all that is left is determination and commitment. Because I know that if I just keep going, then I will be one step closer to being on the right side of the trade and being consistently profitable. Determination and commitment equals success. Thank you, Brett. Awesome. And thank you also to Edwin. Being excellent is not an achievement, it's a habit. that requires both persistence and commitment. Developing both persistence and commitment are the most important tasks if we want to achieve our goal. Persistence can be developed when we stay on our task by making a promise to yourself. We know that things might get boring after several repetitions of failing, but don't give up. You might be a few steps away from your goal. Very true, Edwin. Active learning requires both persistence and commitment. Feelings should be put aside if one is committed to learn. To learn about anything, don't rely on your feelings, the vibes, the correct mood, or timing. Things will never be perfect. This concept of finding the best environment might stop you from being productive. Distraction from peers can ruin commitment. Relying on others and wanting others to join you so you won't feel bored is not the way of commitment and persistence. Solid commitment can sometimes get lonely. We might be still awake while others are asleep, still learning while others are partying. Thanks, Edwin. So many great things in there. And Edwin says, there's a quote I love: if you're not willing to learn, no one can help you. If you are determined to learn, no one can stop you. And this is really what positive excellence is all about. It's about becoming courageous. It's about becoming unstoppable. And if you're unstoppable, of course you will succeed. There's no question about it whatsoever. It's literally inevitable. But the nice thing is, you'll be sustainably fulfilled, find meaning and happiness on the path towards success. You don't have to just reach success to be happy. You'll be happy as you're doing, whatever you're doing to become successful. And well done to everybody who puts in their BORSOG codes. And thank you, HS, for your very kind comment. And John said, without persistence and commitment, you can't progress in life. Practicing every day all the elements of positive excellence is most important to attain inner and outer peace. Being kind to yourself and others. Learning about how to do things better the next time. And making a positive contribution. Just beautiful, John. And Rajat shared, without persistence and commitment, the markets can humble you. That means they take your money, and most of it. And the ones who persist after being humbled are the successful ones. Keep on going. That's what it's all about. If it's in your blood, you can't shake it. You may ditch it for a while, but you just keep on coming back. Just commit. And the real key is getting out of Zone 1 and Zone 2 into Zone 3 and Zone 4. Before I developed KS Zone Analysis, which are the 4 stages that all investors and traders progress through to become consistently profitable, people didn't know what zone they were trapped in. They didn't know what was limiting them. The reason that I share this pretty much every day is because I want to help people break out of Zone 1 and Zone 2 and get into the exclusive club of Zone 3 and Zone 4. That's the happiness club. That's where dreams come true, literally, because you put in the hard work. Nothing is ever given to anyone. We all have to work very, very hard for our successes. And to Divine Art, you've put in the really hard work. Just applying for a scholarship isn't enough. You have to show commitment, and you definitely did. I'm so proud of you. And thank you again to Tails for making it possible. If you want to be successful in life, you definitely have to put in the hard work. That's a prerequisite to success. Anybody who gets awarded a scholarship has earned that scholarship. And the next scholarship to be awarded is one from myself. And I will announce the awardee next week. We have such an amazing global family. I'm so appreciative of each and every one. And I absolutely love seeing our global family bond. And Jay said, persistence and commitment means sticking with something because you believe in it, even if the benefits of doing so are not immediately apparent. Sometimes it takes significant time for the fruits of any endeavor to show. Thank you, Jay. And that's why you need a lot of patience in trading as well. You can think of yourself like a farmer. You can't put the apple seed in the ground and harvest the apples tomorrow. It just doesn't work that way. Trading is definitely skill and knowledge based, but also emotional control is vital. Mastering fear and replacing fear with courage is an absolute necessity. Discussing persistence and commitment a little more would be a really good thing. I think it's going to help so many people. And please remember, just pop in your BORSOG code. It's a critical way into Zone 3. It's part of persistence and commitment. It's understanding that you're thinking in 3 dimensions all the time. Down, neutral, and up. Not just in one dimension, which tends to trap people inside Zone 1 and Zone 2. I want to get you out of Zone 1 and Zone 2 as quickly as possible, and also sustainably keep you in Zone 3 and Zone 4. That requires daily practice. Please consider sharing and liking this video and also subscribing to the channel. We would love to have you as a part of our globally extended KS family. Thank you very much to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers, and please note I don't have WhatsApp or Telegram. I've left helpful links in the description of this video, such as the tax software I use, and also links to the CryptoTradingKS Masterclass. Please seek out a CTKS ambassador to get 80% off, and you can also apply for the partial scholarship. The link to is in the description of this video. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. Each and every day I explain the smart money institutional mindset to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, gaining real wealth and positive excellence in the process. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.